Good morning, Shirelings. Happy Sunday and welcome back to the Shire Shed. I'm Sonny, and you're here, presumably, for another tobacco review. And the tobacco that we will be reviewing today is Pease Penny Farthing, or penny farting as I like to call it, not because of the smell or flavor or anything, just because I'm a child. So, there are a few tobacco blends out there that I think evoke and really just complement the weather and the vibe of the environment that surrounds us. And even though I wouldn't classify this particular blend as a dark fired Kentucky in the traditional regular sense, I do believe that this falls under the category of dark fired Kentucky. Just not in the, maybe not in the way that most of us think a dark fired Kentucky looks or smells or tastes. That does not mean that it is not good. Before I get into any of that, the weather out here, it's not quite frightful, but it's a soggy, wet, dreary, gloomy day here in southern Ohio. It's probably about 45 degrees, completely gray, raining, just nasty. So, what better tobacco to go with that than this one? Before I go any further, I'm going to light this up because, yeah. I'm having it in the Peterson Christmas 2022 X105 rusticated. Absolutely gorgeous. Good solid billiard. Really can't go wrong. I've got my Santa Claus tamper here. That was made by Mr. Larry Blackett from Buttons for Your Britches. If you haven't checked out his stuff yet, you need to go to his Instagram as soon as possible. He makes wonderful products, all handmade, casts them himself. He is an incredibly talented gentleman, and he is also one of the sweetest guys I've ever met. This is a good one. It is a shag cut, which honestly is one of my favorites. It does burn really fast, but it packs nicely. Absolutely delicious. Currently have Edward Scissorhands on the old boob tube over there. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm a bit of a Danny Elfman fan. If you're not into movie scores and stuff like that, you may or may not know. I'll bet, though, you've heard a ton of his work. So, let's get into the breakdown on tobacco reviews here. As I said, this is GLP's Penny Farthing. And it is a shag cut blend of bright and red Virginias, spiced with Louisiana Perique and a hint of fire-cured dark Kentucky. Easy to pack, easy to smoke. Sip gently, penny farthing opens with a sophisticated sweetness, evolving in depth and complexity throughout the bowl to reach a rich, satisfying finish. As I said, it's GL Pease. Falls under the Old London series. Blended by GL Pease, manufactured by Cornell and Diehl. It is classified as a vapor, and I'll get into why I think that's a bit of a misnomer. Contents are Kentucky, Perique, and Virginia. It is a shag cut, comes in a 2-ounce tin. Country of origin is the United States, and it is currently available. Strength is medium. No flavoring detected. Room note is pleasant to tolerable. I never think that any of these non-aromatic blends have a tolerable room note, and certainly not pleasant. At least not to the non-smoker. And the taste is medium. Out of 44 reviews, it has a 3.5 out of 4. Overall, this gets fairly high praise on tobacco reviews. If this is one that you've kind of been on the fence about, you've maybe seen, haven't really heard much about it, get off the fence and just get some. Especially if you really like GLP stuff, because this one is, I've noticed a trend with GLP's blends. They all kind of have this one scent or flavor note or something, and it's essentially unchanging throughout every GLP's blend I've had. It's not a bad one. Don't get me wrong. It's not like there are a lot of people that don't like Lakeland Essence, and I understand that. I like it personally. But it kind of, you know how like G&H blends kind of all have that Lakeland-ish in varying degrees of strength. GLP's, I feel like, kind of has the same deal going on, but I can't quite place what it is. I want to say maybe it's the Red Virginias that they use, because I have noticed that it's more prominent in blends that have a higher amount of Red Virginia. Oh, and by the way, you already know. Dunkin' Donuts original. Sun come up. Sort of. Coffee going down. So yeah, jackknife plug, triple play, sixpence, penny farthing. They all seem to have this kind of, like, it's not a funk. It's a really, really good smell. And again, I can't put my finger on it, but on some blends it turns me off. On others, it really ropes me in. So do with that information what you will. And you guys know that I'm not a sipper. When I have a blend, I kind of just chooch through it, man. I couldn't tell you why. But even still, this one is not biting me. It's not threatening to bite me. It's behaving very, very well. Ooh. As I'm sure you can imagine, Pease doesn't mess around with their Red Virginias, and they are singing, singing, singing. The Dark Fired is definitely there, but I feel like it's more prominent in the 10 note than it is in the actual flavor profile. That said, I think it brings the whole thing together. The Perique is definitely there, but it is not overwhelming at all. Me being a Perique freak, normally I would say, that could use a little more Perique. I think for this it works. The the proportions in this, I believe, are basically perfect. I don't really think they could get better. But I mean, it's Greg Peace. Like, need I say more? Now, when this was first recommended to me by, I think it was one of the old timers in one of the pipe groups, uh, they gave me advice on how to pack it and how to, you want to make sure you use this kind of pipe and you want to make sure you do this and this and this and this and this. Caused me to overthink how to deal with this one. Do yourself a favor. Don't overthink this one. Don't overthink this. It's pack it. The only piece of advice I could give you is put it in a tall, narrow bowl. That's it. I wouldn't dry it much. Maybe just for a few minutes, but spread it out on a paper plate or a piece of paper. Let it dry for a few minutes. Good to go. If you let it dry too much, it's gonna go up like a fart in the wind. Yep, the red sing. Not really detecting a ton of brights, uh, but they are there, and I think that's where I'm kind of getting this. It's starting to get some rough edges on it. I am getting a bit of a gurgle. Be right back. And the gurgle has been taken care of. This does go through kind of steps. It goes from a vapor to a dark fired Kentucky and back to a vapor. I don't mind that at all. I love it. Two of my favorite blend types kind of colliding, playing leapfrog with each other. It works. Absolutely lovely. And as I'm sure you can imagine, pairs exceptionally well with coffee. But as I believe I've said before, I haven't really found a blend that doesn't. Has a very nice depth, gets very deep. at certain points. GL Pease, penny farthing. Give it a shot. If you like vapors at all, and you like dark-fired Kentuckys, just a little, this one's for you. Guaranteed. If you've tried this one before, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. This is admittedly not one that is in my rotation super often, but it is in my rotation pretty often. I honestly wish they sold this one in bulk, but they don't, sadly. Kind of sucks. So, final verdict, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. No hesitation. 8 out of 10 without question. It is absolutely fantastic. It hits all the right spots. Can't complain. I wouldn't change a thing about it. I'd honestly like to see it in plug form. Either plug or crumble cake. I think this would do really well. So, GL Pease, penny farthing, 8 out of 10. Go get some. Seriously. It's a solid vapor. It's a solid Kentucky. It's kind of both. It's I think it'll tickle your fancy. I really do. Stay tuned for more on this channel for some really, really good stuff, particularly one video that will be coming out as the Christmas special in the Shire Shed. One that I think you're going to really, really enjoy. If this is your first time watching and you're really enjoying the content, or even halfway enjoying the content, do me a solid, like the video, subscribe to the channel, stick around for some more cool stuff. I upload pretty much every week. There are some exceptions throughout the year where maybe I upload once every couple weeks. That's simply because I just get busy with stuff around here. Owning a home ain't for the weak. So, throw me a like and a subscribe if you're digging it. If not, that's fine. That's fine. You absolutely don't have to. I really couldn't care less. I just want to get this out to as many people that want to see it as possible. So if you don't want to see this, I don't know why you're watching this video all the way to the end. But, I mean, hey, whatever. But if you're watching it all the way to the end, presumably you like the content. So just go ahead and subscribe, you know? Anyway, I'm not going to harp on that. Sound like I'm begging for subs. I don't beg. Nah. Nah, baby, nah. Anyway, hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a wonderful work week coming up. Hope you all continue to enjoy this holiday season and be safe. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, but if you do, don't get caught. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.